welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. My name is Shelby and I do lots of beauty reviews and I discuss all of the beauty drama here on YouTube and in the beauty community. I also do reviews on products like this or products like this and lots of other stuff that is hip in the community. It's a special video and that's because today is my birthday.
It's your birthday, we're here to party and sing to you. It's from me. Hope you are bueno, up on the Rhino, the rendezvous. From the Gulf to the mountains, the city lights and fountains, we hope your birthday's excelente.
I'm 30. I'm getting up there. But yeah, I'm 30 today, and I have been reflecting the past couple weeks on what my 20s have been like, and boy, they've been a roller coaster. I am a completely different version of myself than I was when I was 20, and I've been through so many ups and downs in my 20s, and I've just learned so much. So I decided to compile a list of 20 things that I learned in my 20s to share with you guys. Maybe I can provide some words of wisdom. Listen to your elders. So if you want to see the 20 things that I learned in my 20s and maybe help yourself from making some of those mistakes, then keep on watching. I'm a completely different person than I was when I was 20. And I've been through so many things, so many amazing, great things, and so many just like hard trying things I'm just a completely different person, and just the growth that I've had is phenomenal and incredible, and I surprise myself every day. I've discovered my worth as a person and as a woman through like so much heartache, fake friends, bad friends, being screwed over at jobs, being screwed over by people, by boys, by men. I've discovered who I am and what I'm worth and what I will tolerate and what I won't tolerate. Gone are the days of I'm not good enough, or he doesn't like me because of this thing or because of me or because of my weight or whatever. Like, gone are the days of that. I am so comfortable with who I am at the core now, and that is something that honestly took some time and some growth in my 20s to figure out, and I really didn't kind of find that until I was about 28 or 29. If you are in a situation right now where there's a guy that just isn't really maybe giving you the attention that you feel like you deserve, or is kind of treating you badly, or cheated on you, or there's a friend out there who's talking behind your back, or whatever the case is, like, just know that it's not you, it's them, and the people who want to be in your life are going to be in your life. I'll talk a little bit about that later, but you are good enough and you are worth it. If that person or these friends don't see that, or if that job doesn't see that, whatever it is that can come your way, like, you are good enough, and just keep on trying. When the time is right, like, things will fall into place how they should. The second thing that I learned in my 20s was that FOMO, and that's fear of missing out, is not worth the repercussions that it could have in your real life the next day when it pertains to school, work, and your actual goals you're working towards. And me and my friends, we still do this to each other. We still do the, come on, don't be lame, come out. Like, why are you being like this? Don't be like this. Come on, let's go. And like, for a long time, it worked for everyone in my friend group. We just end up going, and we just end up, staying out till 2 or past 2, and, the next day being super hungover at work, and then all of a sudden, like, your upper management pops into the job, and you're super hungover, or you might even still be a little bit tipsy from the night before, depending on how late you stayed out. It affects real life. Those of you who are in your young, like, early 20s, Once you get past about 25, 26, it gets a little bit harder to stay out all night and go to work the next day and be just fine. Sometimes it's okay to say, no, I'm leaving at 11:30, or no, I'm sorry, I just can't come out at all because I've got a big meeting tomorrow and my career is real life and that's important to me and my goals are important to me and I can't let the fear of missing out or the FOMO affect all of that. And your real friends are going to understand and they're going to want to see you grow and achieve, what you want to achieve as well. So they might be a little bit bummed in the moment, but they're going to support you and your decisions, and you guys will catch up when you all have the time to hang out. Another thing that I learned in my 20s was that sometimes buying the real thing or the name brand thing is just honestly a better idea. This is coming from a girl who used to be an extreme couponer. Always go for the bargain and what was cheaper and whatever. I was on a budget. I wanted to get the bang for my buck. But now that I've gotten older, I've realized that there are just some things where I just rather buy the name brand thing because one, it might perform a lot better and I'll actually end up saving money in the long run. Two, it just makes my life easier. And three, it doesn't cost that much extra to begin with. So if you can swing it, just go ahead and swing it. Now, if you can't afford name brand things and certain things, and it really would just put you out to do that, then obviously don't do it. There's obviously times where, everybody has to cut back and cut corners, but you still need necessities. So you have to kind of scale back a little bit on the things that you get. And that's totally fine. We've all been there. Laundry detergent's a big one. I used to buy the cheap laundry detergent all the time, or the off-brand laundry detergent. And when I was couponing, I ended up getting a deal for Tide, and I never went back from Tide or Gain after that because I was able to use so much less detergent and get stuff clean so much better. And so sometimes it's just worth it to pay the extra couple dollars to get that. And that's one thing that I did learn in my 20s. Oh my God, did you guys see that? Jesus. What the hell is even that?
What the hell is even that?
Okay, this next thing I learned in my 20s is a big one. So listen up. If you don't pay attention to a single thing in this video, pay attention to this one. I am still getting myself out of the bullshit that I didn't listen to when people told me about this stuff when I was younger. So listen up and don't make the same mistakes that I did. Your finances are super important, and no one's gonna teach you how to do that kind of finance management in school, so you better go ahead and learn how to do it on your own. Do your research when making big purchases like cars and financing things, furniture and all that stuff. Make wise decisions and look at the fine print before you sign on that dotted line. Pay your bills. Pay your bills. If you have bills, you need to pay them. The bills aren't going to go away. I'm embarrassed to say this on camera, but when I had my first credit card, I didn't pay the bill because I didn't know how to pay the bill. What the hell is even that?
What the hell is even that?
And that did not end up going well for my credit score. Credit scores are a very real thing, and they will affect a lot of important decisions that you decide you want to make once you are out on your own and living as a full-fledged adult out there. I mean, I was so bad with my finances when I was in my early 20s that I would just not pay my car note because I wanted to buy some shoes and go out and stuff. And then I would get out of work one day and my car would be gone. They repossessed that. My car was repossessed 3 times because I never learned my lesson about just paying your freaking car note on time so that you can. It's so stupid now that I think about it. Why would bills are real. People will come take your shit. People will turn your lights off. They'll turn your gas off. They'll turn your water off if you don't pay them. They want their money and they're not afraid to go after it. They will kick you out of where you live if you don't pay them what you owe them. Don't think that people are gonna just understand and work with you every time. But if you have like $2 in your bank account, but your light bill's paid, your water bill's paid, your rent is covered, you got gas in your car, all your bills are covered, you're good. Don't worry about the rest. Don't compare your journey to other people's journey. This is another pretty big one. It's all over my Facebook feed. People getting married, people getting engaged, having babies, getting promotions, buying houses, doing this, traveling the world, whatever it is that they're doing. It's really hard not to compare yourself to other people when other people that you went to high school with or maybe you were friends with or whatever are doing all these, seemingly fantastic things. But just remember that what you see on social media, that's just online, and they're just putting one side of their life out there, and there's people, everyone has bad days and everyone has stuff they go through. Not everyone is sharing the unfortunate things that may happen to them on the internet. Some people are really open. Some people are a little too open. We all know that person that's like, I broke up with my boyfriend, and they post it 3 times in 3 months, girl, get over it. People's journeys go in an order that's meant for them to go in, and we can't compare what we're doing to somebody else. Let the man or woman in the bar buy you a drink. Let them buy you a drink. But that's all. Honey, we do not meet Mr. Right in the bar or Mrs. Right in the bar. Make sure you see the bartender make said drink for you, and make sure you take the drink directly from said bartender's hand. We don't want to be getting roofied. We will not be getting roofied. But it's okay to accept a drink from somebody. Know that there will probably be a little bit of a conversation that you were forced to have with them because of it. But, don't think that taking a drink that somebody offers to buy you means that this person is now interested in talking to you and dating you and putting a ring on it someday, because it probably isn't. And it's okay to say no to the drink. If you're out with your friends and you don't want to be bothered by a man or a woman offering to buy you a drink and wanting to talk to you and holler at you, then there's no reason that you should be. You do what you want to do. It's just, don't think that you're going to find Mr. Right in the bar, because I'm sure there's stories up there of it happening, but it probably won't happen for you. And if you happen to leave the bar with the man that bought you the drink, don't think they just want to talk, honey, because they don't just want to talk, okay? In this life, there's so many ups and downs. There are going to be so many times where you feel overjoyed and happy with the way everything is going in your life. Everything's just falling into place. And there's going to be times where you feel super, super distraught and sad and discouraged, like things aren't going your way and that, you're just really going through it and having a tough time. Just remember that the end game is being happy. So if you consistently see a pattern with being super unhappy, whether it be in your job or your relationship or maybe a friendship with somebody, and a certain thing just keeps bringing you down, then your happiness is the end game. Last year, in 2019, I made a very, very crazy career move. I was a restaurant manager I've never talked about this on camera before. I was a restaurant manager for 5 years. For a couple brands. I was even the general manager of a restaurant from 2018 to 2019. I was fired from 3 management positions. And that's because my heart was not in the work that I was doing anymore. When I first started doing that, when I first started restaurant management, I loved it. I put my heart and my soul into it. I was doing so well. I was climbing up, the little ladder with the company that I was with so fast, and people knew my name, and I was doing all these great things and getting all this recognition. And then at some point, I just fell out of love with it. And it took me about a full year to realize that I fell out of love with it and that it was time for me to move on. So I made the craziest decision, in my mind at the time. Now that I look back, I don't regret it at all. And that was the last time I got let go from a management position. I didn't apply for more management positions. I took a step down into a server role. And I went back to serving at a fine dining restaurant to where I could still make the money to pay my bills. And I've literally never been less stressed about work in my life. My happiness wasn't there with what I was doing. So being happy is my end game. If I'm not happy, then I don't want to do it. And so I stopped doing it. And don't be scared. Don't be scared to make a decision in your life for your happiness, because your happiness is what's most important above anything else, period. Something else that I learned in my 20s is that people aren't really paying attention to you as much as they think they're paying attention to you. So when you're walking through the mall with a pimple on your cheek because it's like you're on your period and like your hormones are going crazy, whatever, like no one notices your pimple. And then even in the store when you're talking face to face with the lady at Sephora, she probably doesn't even notice your pimple. Like nobody notices your pimple, so get over yourself. Like no one's paying that much attention to you. No one notices the fact that your shirt has a little coffee stain on it, like when you're in a big place, like even probably if you just hang out with your friends, they probably wouldn't notice. No one notices. So don't be so self-conscious, because it's okay. Oh my God. Another thing I really wish I would have known in my 20s that I learned is that things don't work out for a reason. You don't know what the reason is at that time, but there's a reason you didn't get promoted at the time that you thought you were going to. There's a reason that this guy never texted you back. There's a reason that you didn't get the apartment that you've been hoping to get. There's a reason all of these things happen that you are so distraught over at the time. So like you don't know what the reasoning is that certain things don't happen is yet. But just kind of go with it and just let it happen, because I promise that things are going to work out the way they need to. Just let life happen. Things are always going to play out the way that they're supposed to play out. So don't fret and don't worry. Just go with it and take a deep breath. Yeah, sometimes things are super painful in the moment when they don't work out for you, but it's going to be okay. So anyway, don't dwell on the bad stuff that happens, because bad stuff's gonna happen. I have a new motto that I give myself when anything bad happens to me, and I actually kind of learned this from a friend that I have. I give myself a certain amount of time. This shadow is pigment of the house, girl. I give myself like a certain amount of time to dwell or like be sad or angry or whatever about a certain thing that happened. So like 2 days, 3 days, a day, whatever I feel is appropriate. And then after that, I'm done being sad. I'm done making it a pity party, and I'm done with all that, and it's time to move on and fix the situation. Don't dwell on the bad stuff that happens to you. If you dwell on it, you're not going to be able to move forward and fix the situation for yourself. So give yourself an amount of time to heal and to, get it out. And then after that, you're done. Wow, this looks cute. Life's too short to dwell on the bad things that happen to you. We should be embracing the good and fun things that happen to us. I don't know who out here needs to hear this, but don't let your relationship with a man negatively affect your friendships that you have. There's been a few friendships that I've had that just kind of fizzle out because the person gets into a relationship with a significant other and then they just disappear. Life becomes all about the significant other. I've actually been the person who did that. And I regret that so much. I lost so much valuable time. Thank God some of the friends that I had before, they were still there for me afterward. You know what I mean? But there have been people that have just completely ditched me because of their new boyfriend, and then 2 months later they break up with their new boyfriend, and then they come back and they, are whining, to me about it and like wanting to hang out and stuff. And I'm just like, okay, fine. Then we hang out again. Then a month and a half later, they get a new boyfriend, disappear for another 3 months. Girl, like, friendships are relationships too, and they need to be nurtured and fed. And you do that by engagement and, time spent together and stuff. And so just remember that your relationship that you have with your significant other at the time isn't the only relationship you have. And you need to balance those things out, because if and when the relationship with that significant other ends, then what are you going to have? Your friendships are important too, girl. So there's been situations where now I just don't even really talk to the people that have done that to me before. But don't let your relationship with somebody completely engulf your entire life to where you lose your friends and you lose everything in your life besides that person. That's never a healthy thing. So the man that's sending you, hey, with a bunch of Y's, or what are you doing, WID question mark, or the infamous, hey, stranger, or like any of those after midnight really translates to DTF. And you need to be on high alert for those, honey. For me, that's an immediate ignore. I do not do that. I just want to catch up with you. Who wants to catch up with what's inside your pants? Proceed with caution. If that's what you're going for, honey, then okay, well then you do you, mama. You want to give them the cake? Give them the cake, girl. I mean, I'm not out here slut shaming. Do what you want to do, mama. Like, live your life, live your best. Also on that note, if they disappear, let them disappear. If the guy from Tinder that you thought you had such a great connection with doesn't text you back after the first date or after the first couple days of talking, bye. You are dating this guy for a month or so, and he all of a sudden gets distant, and eventually his texts end up being nothing, and you guys don't see each other for a month, and then it's just over. Bye. You are too special to dwell on one person's opinion and treatment of your worth. Wow, this is like very raccoon. This has gone from interesting to raccoon very quickly. Let them go, basically. Because if they really wanted to be there, they would. And if they really want to make the time for you, they will. If they really want to text you, they will. If they're interested in you, you will know. They will put forth the effort. There's no, oh, he's just shy. Oh, he's just busy. No one's too busy to send a text message to the person that they want to send a text message to. Never forget that. Even if it's just a, hey, what's going on? How was your day today? Or good morning, good night, talk to you tomorrow, work's been crazy. If they want to text you, they will. Go on the trip. Even if it means you go by yourself, go on that trip. Go to New York by yourself. If you had a trip planned with a boyfriend and then you guys broke up, you already have your plane ticket, sis, go. You don't need him to go on this trip. Fuck him. Go on your trip, live your best, and explore the world. I took a trip to LA by myself in May, and it was the best trip I've ever been on. It was so magical and so fun. I didn't have to worry about what anybody else was doing or anybody else wanted to do. It was just me, and it was amazing. So go on the trip, buy the ticket, figure the rest out later. That's all I got to say about that. So life isn't going to go as perfectly as you envisioned in your head for it to go. And that's okay, but don't expect it to either. Whenever I plan out a big, like, party or a, plan for something and I just get so excited about it that I think about everything that's going to happen and how everything's supposed to unfold and fall into place and stuff. On the day of the event, nothing goes the way that I had in my plan, in my head. And I end up letting that get in my head and letting it negatively affect how I'm like experiencing my day. Go with the flow, let things happen as they will, and don't worry if, you know, you guys get started a little late, or like if, you know, you forget the cooler at the house for the beach day, or Susie forgot to make the playlist for the party. Like, fuck it. Just have fun and enjoy your day, and don't let the little stuff like that ruin what could be an amazing time, because nothing's going to go exactly how you've envisioned it to. Which brings me into my next point. You cannot control everything, so don't try. There's going to be influences around you that are going to affect how things play out and how things work, and you can't control that. So, you know, control what you can control. If you are driving to work and there's a wreck on the road and you get all flustered about it and it like ruins your day because you were late to work because of traffic or people wouldn't get out of your way, you cut all the lights or whatever, what you could have controlled in that situation was leaving a little bit earlier. So wake your ass up earlier and do it that way. You know what I mean? But don't sit here and place the blame on the traffic or the lights or whatever and realize that you can't control those things. So you have to control what you can control and figure out how to work your life around the things you can control to make them work out in as good of a favor as you can create for yourself. There's nothing so bad in life that a good night out with your girls or a good time with your girlfriends or guy friends can't fix. Friends are the ultimate cure in my book for anything and everything that's bad that's happening in my life. Whenever I'm feeling down, I go to my friends. Whenever I'm feeling angry, I go to my friends. Whenever I just need a little pick-me-up because, you know, life's been a little stressful, I go to my friends. Go to your friends. That's what your friends are there for. And hopefully they feel comfortable coming to you with the same. There's nothing a good girls' night can't fix with gossip, drinks, and dancing, and a good time, and silly, crazy stuff, that whatever it is that you like to do. This one was a little hard for me. Not all friendships are gonna last forever, and that's okay. Not all friendships are gonna last forever, and that's okay. You're gonna drift apart from people. You know, you're gonna realize that the things that you once enjoyed that made your friendship with this person kind of flourish are not the things that you're into anymore because you're older and your situation's changed, or now you have a baby, or now you're in a serious relationship, or, you know, now, or you're single now, you know, or you're recently divorced, or whatever the case may be. There's going to be so many things that happen to you, and the people that you are friends with or were friends with, you know, and sometimes it changes the dynamic of your relationship. And not everyone's supposed to be in your life forever. Some people are just passing through to teach you a lesson. Take what you learn from the relationships with these people, and hopefully you can use it to grow into a better person or learn something and move on. Not all friendships have to end in or have to fizzle out into, that's a lot, Jesus. Have to fizzle out into like bad blood. Some things can just kind of dwindle and fizzle out on their own, and you know, there's no bad blood or ill will towards anybody. It's just you guys aren't really compatible as friends anymore, and that's okay. And this is a big one, and this is my final thing that I have learned in my 20s that I thought was important enough to include in a YouTube video, and that is Time is the most valuable thing that we as people have. It is a thing that we will never get back no matter what we do. So it is very important for you to not waste others' time, to not waste your own time, and to be considerate of this ultra precious gift that we have called time. If you stand somebody up for something, or if you're supposed to be at work at a certain time, like, time is so important, and we don't want our time to be wasted. You don't want your time wasted. People don't want their time wasted either. And that is a big thing that I've learned in my 20s, and that I am trying my best, as I am chronically at least 20 minutes late for everything socially that I do, but I'm trying to get better at it, because I don't want it to seem like I don't care to the people that I'm choosing to spend my time with, because I do. So those are the 20 things that I learned in my 20s. I hope you found them insightful, useful, some of them maybe a little bit funny. Those are things that I found that are the most important that I learned from, and I wish to share that knowledge with you. So thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. I had a ton of fun shooting this, and I've been thinking about the content I wanted to put in this video for quite some time. So thank you so much for supporting my channel and giving this a view. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel by clicking that little red button below. I am trying to surpass the 30 subscriber mark on my 30th birthday, so I would love and appreciate all of your support doing that. I am on Twitter at Beauty by Shelby and on Instagram at Beauty by Shelby. Make sure that you please check me out on both of those platforms as well. I would love to chat with you on there. Leave me a comment below if you did enjoy this kind of content from me, because it is a little bit different than the kind of stuff that I normally do. And thank you so much again for watching. I will see you in my next video, guys. Bye, guys.